Hello everyone, and welcome to Cobcast. I don't have my barrel today, so I'm just going to squat here on the floor. That way you can actually see some of the stuff on the table, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit of background on this. Since I was about 8 years old, my father and I were on the Mackinac River, and we were just canoeing, hiking, and one of his buddies has found a couple arrowheads just walking around, searching the sandbars, and didn't realize how many were out there. So it got everybody kind of into searching. I used to be more as a kid out there shooting my BB gun, not really paying attention. But as I got older, seeing how many that my dad has found and his friends, I got kind of into it a little bit. And that's basically what I wanted to share as the background with this. And then I wanted to share a couple stories about some of my finds. I have a bunch of broken pieces and some things to explain to you what they are. But I'm just going to give you a glimpse of some of my better finds. Of course, they're going to slide around there. So, there are tons of stories here because I remember almost where I found each and every one of those in creeks and parts of the river and how I found them. There's a couple times sitting there eating a sandwich on the side of the boat. Look down. Oh, there's an arrowhead. This one is one of those. It's a little hardened point. And basically, I was sitting in a chair fishing, and that was sitting right next to me. I wasn't with my father that time. But one of the main stories I want to tell you is about the deer. I was with another friend out on Kickapoo, and I only found little broken pieces, stuff like this. It's a woodland stemmed one. This is just the bottom. Top's broken. And nothing really crazy I found out there, but just a bunch of broken stuff. About a mile down the river, or upriver I suppose, there was this dead deer laying there, and me and my friend just skipped that sandbar because didn't want to smell the bloated, stinky dead deer. And we didn't really find anything that day, but we came back out the next day, and the coyotes have moved that deer, but more towards the bank, up away from the water. And I was like, man, I'll just go ahead and search this sandbar real fast. I don't know if you noticed the one in the middle that slid down. This is my nicest find. This is another type of a harden. Really thin. Super nice find. And it was where that dead deer was laying. One of my other nicest finds is the very first one I ever found. It's a little bird point. Very first one, I think I was about 10 years old when I found that. Still one of my coolest. My dad wishes he found this. But that was one of those instances where instead of me going around playing with my BB gun, I was actually searching because I thought it was really cool to find these. A lot of these, I have a whole bunch of these, which is a tool. They're just called scrapers. And what they would do, they're almost all alike too, because the way they would use them is to scrape the flesh off of animal hides after they clean it so they could use the furs and tan them. I'm not going to go through every single arrowhead, but these are sharpening stones. It's okay, I dropped that one, it's a broken one. These are sharpening stones. You can see it's flat. I have a better example here. You might be able to see the direction and how flat it is, the direction of the marks. And in this way, the marks go the opposite. And it's because they would hold this to sharpen axe heads or even use them for sandwich snapping. So if you have two of these, when you take your flint to start making arrowheads, to get a big flake, a big chunk, you can put two of these like this and use a stick, pow, and it'll give you a nice little piece to start your arrowhead. Those are pretty common. I have a broken discoidal. Discodial or discoidal, I can never pronounce it right. And you can see the little grooves here. This would have been completely spherical. And then they grind these little grooves in them, and they would roll them as a game. It was like a game thing. And I don't have any of the game balls that go with that because they would either shoot arrows without arrowheads at them, or they would try to hit them with the game ball. So they would roll them down a hill and people would try to hit them. It was just a little game that they used to play. Probably one of the best things I could show you, other than my really nice points. This I found right across the street. It's the biggest one I have. This would have been more likely a digging tool, so it probably was used to attach to dig like a hoe. Most likely, this probably wouldn't have been a knife just because of the thickness of it. And yeah, it was mostly for agriculture. I got a couple like that. That's what this would be as well. Most likely just a tool, but they're all technically tools. The best find that I have, and I'm the only one in the family that has one, was on the Mackinac River, right at my buddy's cabin that I did the interview with. There's a field out there that the property owners rent out to people, to the farmer, and there's a bunch of broken stuff out there, and I mean, you could walk for 5 minutes and find a little bird point or some of these broken pieces. But since there were so many, I'm like, then this is a good spot. I'm gonna find something nice. And for about a year, I was going out there every couple of weeks, walking for an hour or two. Never really found anything too crazy until the farmer said, hey, and there's rocks about this size out there as well. And the farmer saw me out there searching, and he's like, I swear I saw an axe head back there, but I just kind of shrugged it off. I'm like, how are you going to see that from in a tractor? Well, I searched in that area for a while, maybe every day for about 4 or 5 days, and I'm like, I don't think he's saying anything about it. Like, I don't think he really saw an axe head. And it wasn't exactly where he said, but I found an axe head. So it's a stone axe, probably archaic or woodland period. I'd have to look at the reference books, but you can see where they would attach that, and you can see the sharpened edge. I mean, it's a stone axe. There's no doubt about it. And they would also use these, other than sandwich tools, they would use these to make the edges on the axe head. And it's just so cool to find something so primitive but so useful that they were actually using axes to chop wood and make whatever they got to do just with materials that they have. And to actually have one of these is just amazing. My dad's pretty jealous about that. But he has what's called an adze, which is essentially the same thing. It just doesn't have a groove, and it tapers more to a teardrop, but it's got dimples right here instead of these grooves. It has dimples, so it could also be used by hand. I don't know really how they attach the adze, but it's basically the same thing. This is an axe, and adze would be a hatchet. Oh, so sometime I'll have to show you some more of the other arrowheads that my father has found, but for right now, I'm going to leave it at that. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.